Road cycling, I think, is like one of the hardest like the most painful sports mentally, because it's just preparing to suffer. We kept doing it. It was like years and years of this, and somewhere along the lines I started to fall in love with it because of the mental challenge that it gives. But I think that's good for you and good for people, because that suffering leads to something else.
Go!
Mount Everest is the tallest mountain in the world. It's 29,032 feet. To ride Flagstaff and Everest on that route, it will be 12.5 laps, which will come to 125 miles and 29,032 feet. My name is Bobby Ryan. I'm from Kingston, New York, which is about 90 miles north of New York City. I'm going into my senior year at the University of Colorado, Skill Buffs.
It's like when you're trying to gain weight, it's like you're eating as much as you possibly can.
Mm-hmm. I'm a skier on the Alpine ski team, double major in finance and marketing. And I just recently launched a company, Drink Burke, which is an all-natural yerba mate company with one of my teammates at school. So I've been doing this for years, so I have the aerobic base that's there. I started riding 250 miles, and then it turned into 500 miles a year, and then 1,000, and then in COVID I did a couple thousand. This year it's really been targeted towards climbing. I actually had a really tough season last year mentally, and I kind of hit a wall, broke down, really questioned why I was doing things, and realized I needed a why, and it needed to be bigger than myself. So I got through the off season. I ended up taking much longer than any other year. It was about 6 weeks where I didn't do anything. I ate pizza, I stayed up too late, I drank beers, I did everything that I don't normally allow myself to do because I just needed to break mentally, and I was so burnt out. And then I stepped on the scale and I was like 205, and I was like, wait a second, we're an athlete, what is going on now? So I broke out my road bike and I climbed to the top of Flagstaff. I got to the top of the really steep section that is horrible to climb, and I had to step off my bike for a second, and I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, this isn't allowed. So then I was like, okay, I'm getting back into biking. Like, I need to get back into shape, I'm an athlete. For anyone that's been to Boulder, Colorado, or seen the Flatirons, there's this one road, it's called Flagstaff. And it's right in the heart of Boulder, and it goes right all the way up. It's like the most iconic bike route, but it's the most iconic climb in the Flatirons in Boulder, and it's one of the most difficult climbs around.
Yeah. Let's go!
So the goal is to ride it 12.5 times, 13 or so, and climb the vertical feet of Everest.
I'm glad I only have to do that 12 more times.
I'm a little tired now. It's turned into this thing where cyclists try and do this because it's such a hard physical thing in the beginning, but the last, I don't know, third, half of it, whatever you want to, I don't know where that line is yet, but it turns into a mental thing where it's how badly do you want to do this, and what's your why, I think becomes a really, really important aspect of it.
4 hours, 15 minutes in. I just finished 4 laps. We're just past the height of Vail Mountain. Grab some food, and we're about to get back on another one. Lap 5, here we go.
The reason that I'm doing this is my old ski coach, Jack Bailey. He's one of the most influential people in my life outside of my parents, and he made me into the person I am today. He has a son, Shane, who actually has a rare disease. And what that means is it affects less than 200,000 people worldwide at any one given time.
I think I just finished 7 or so. Just over halfway.
And I've seen the way it's affected them, their family, and everything else. And I'm extremely passionate about raising money for rare disease because it affects so few people worldwide. And because that market is so small, a lot of pharmaceutical companies and research isn't able to go into it. So every dollar you're able to raise for rare research goes a long way.
You got it, Bobby.
It hurts to get there, and push through, but that moment after you do, everything fades away. You're not thinking about anything, you're just totally in the moment, which never happens, I feel like, when you're on your phones and everything. most of the time.
So 20, almost 23 hours and you're 10 minutes from the top.
Yeah, it's been all mental since like for so long. It's been such a interesting experience. You find out like you can go further than you think. There are so many times where it's like there's no way I can do this, and then now we're 10 minutes from the top and we're gonna make it. One last effort. Let's go!
Yesterday at 5:04 a.m. you took off.
Great work.
And we have 15 hours, 21 minutes, 141 miles, average speed 9.2 miles an hour, maximum speed 42.9, ascent beyond Everest.
Nice job, Bob. Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
That's amazing.
I'd like it to be so much bigger than just raising money. Like, the idea is to raise awareness with it as well. So if it works out this way, it would be amazing, but I'd rather have people donate $1 and repost it on their story and see if we can reach 29,000 people as well, because raising the awareness about it, I think, goes so much farther to support these families that are affected by this.
I had a lot of thoughts running through my head after that last little bit. I mean, the reason that I did it was for my old ski coach's son, Shane, to raise awareness for rare disease.
You're capable of so much more than what you think you are. And I think for most people, they don't push that boundary, and I've definitely pushed too far. I've bonked on a bike before, and it's been like, you get home and you're physically shaking, and all you want to do is like crawl in a ball, but you have to eat and drink, and then you end up sleeping for 18 hours, and the next day you're fine. But like that pushing that boundary is something that I think I've always loved to do. I mean, look at this, I mountain bike, I downhill ski race, I enjoy that, pushing that threshold. And I'm biking more, I'm just loving life right now.